Now that's something that people have died to protect and gain and ensure. Why? Because it's a prerequisite condition in all of our liberal democracies. And yet today, side opposition agrees to us in principle. Yes, that is important, but not for soldiers. The ones that help us gain it, the ones that help us protect it, and the ones that help us hold it sacrosanct. And now I pose you 3 critical questions to answer who won in today's debate. First, should we protect freedoms? Yes. Second, does our policy ensure these freedoms? Yes. Third, so should we extend these freedoms to the soldiers? And proposition answers yes to all 3 questions. So let us proceed to answering the first question, on the question of principle. So should we protect freedoms? Now, side opposition today agreed to us in principle because their policy does expand the freedom of speech granting to the soldiers. They agreed to us in principle that it should be given. But yet, in their policy, they say that we're not giving to it fully because of the certain consequences of civil war and instability and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is, they haven't given us a single example throughout the whole debate. Not one. From their leader of opposition, deputy leader of opposition whip, they accuse us of an American-centric example. Well, at least we had some. They had none. And that's exactly why their world is completely fictitious. Their world doesn't exist. And in our world, these tangible examples stand because we protect these freedoms from the soldiers, the ones that take the bullets for us. We say our freedom fighters should be the first ones to have these freedoms. So we come to the question on the public and the state. Should we ensure their freedoms too? Yes. So we move on to our second question. Does our policy protect these freedoms? First of all, on the level of soldiers. The fact of the matter is, by extending the freedom of speech, we prevent the harms that we've suggested throughout the whole debate. The exploitation that happened in the Iraqi war. Now, side opposition contests that court cases were made, but the thing is, they were already exploited, and so two, they've never given us a successful example in which those cases were ruled, and soldiers were granted due compensation for the exploitation they received, and under their rule model, it will continue to perpetuate the exploit the people that protect us. So move on to the state and the public. Now, our Deputy Prime Minister clearly delineated to you the benefits of having this in mass media. And our whip has told you how mass media is the only way to galvanize action from the government. And I've already told you why in principle we must do this in the first place. On those 3 levels our examples stand. The examples of the hydraulic dams in Afghanistan. The example of a poppies decrease. What happens? Poppies actually create opium that pays for Taliban that kills our soldiers, protecting the soldiers once more. Again, we want another example in how we gave interviews to Time that actually created positive policy change. Not only is our case right in principle, not only is it practical in practice, not only do we eliminate the harms, but we create tangible benefits by granting the freedom of speech. So we grant the last and final and only important question in today's debate. So should we extend the freedom to these soldiers? Well, the fact of the matter is, they argue these harms. Civil war, instability, lack of foreign investment. Civil war, they didn't give us a single example, I doubt there is any, that was caused because soldiers were allowed to speak. Second, instability. People already have opinions in the status quo. What's happening? There isn't instability. And they said that veterans and soldiers are different. Well, according to their logic, the controversy is the same because they still divulge the same information. Third, foreign investment. Well, as our government whip, as he's a finance geek, said, people like democracies and invest in democracies, and beyond that, they're willing to have money instead of the freedom that these people die for. So what's the last and final issue that this question answers? Is it the freedoms that our freedom fighters ensure for us? The prerequisite conditions of democracy not only is not in right and principle, but it's possible in practice and also ensures the benefits. Or is it money or the fear of fear? When we say we're not here to have fear, we're here to ensure our freedoms. Thank you very much.